Hi YouTube, this is Jilly. I wanted to show the progression of the backwards bee painting that I've done. And I did do a little painting on it this morning. And what I'm doing is I'm fine tuning. So I've gone around the crown. I've used some of my coffee ink on a nice flat brush. I've wiped off some of the coffee on the piece of paper that I have next to my painting. And I'm just slowly, I'm having a good time, I'm not rushing, going around because I did use a black watercolor pencil around the crown. And I want to kind of bring that coffee look. And what I've talked about is the coffee really has a sheen to it. So when you do look at it afterwards, it brings a very natural look to the painting. And I worked on the abstract part of this little honeycomb that I did not expect to paint in. And I also added some yellow to the bee body. And I really don't think I'm going to do too much more. What I wanted to show today in this instructional video is you really put the finishing touches on it to make it your way. I could probably work on the wings a little bit more. I could probably work on enhancing the little tentacles and making them a little bit more structured if I wanted. It just really depends on what you think that you want to achieve out of the look that you have. But the one thing that I wanted to give as an instruction today, because that's what I've been doing, is doing teaching videos, is I keep sketches next to me when I paint. So I have this sketch that I did a while ago and a bunch of little other sketches underneath it, but I've been using this one as a reference point because it is my original sketch. I'm going in and using it to look back on it, how maybe I want to paint this bee. So what I think is good to do is to have that sketch that you've done that you can look at and say, okay, how do I want to make the bee's body look? Is it looking in the way I want it to look? Sometimes I'll get a pen and I'll just go in on the side. See how that just even one line can make a huge difference? And then I just kind of color it off to get any extra paint off of the pen. But even that sometimes can make a little bit of a difference to enhance the flow of that bee's body, you know, bringing in some more curvatures and lines into that bee's body. So you start really making it your own, fine-tuning it. But what I wanted to teach today is when I learned how to paint years ago, one of the things that was kind of, you know, taboo, or that you didn't do it, is you didn't leave any of the white of the canvas showing through. That's why a lot of people do an overall color before they start painting, so that canvas has like a color on it for a number of different reasons. But on purpose, what I'm going to do, because this has been my backwards bee painting, right? We didn't tone the canvas. We didn't put an all over color. We actually broke all the rules. We went in and we drew the crown first, and you can go back on my YouTubes and look and see from the first one that I did. I called it my backwards bee painting. I focused on the crown. I drew the crown in. I drew the little bee in with a black ballpoint pen. And then I started building around the bee, right? Painting the sides of the painting, not realizing I would make this little abstract honeycomb down there. And it kind of started getting a life of its own. This arch formed when the coffee ink started drying, and then the next day I was like, oh, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to make it part of the painting. So you can see this metallic acrylic is pretty dry. Takes a few days to dry, so I probably wouldn't press on it too hard. But what I wanted to say is I'm going to leave some of the natural white of the canvas on it. I think it brings an organic feel to the painting. And then when this is dry, because I did my coffee painting on it today, it will take a few days to dry, maybe even a week or two. I'll spray varnish it, and I do spray the sides lightly with some spray varnish, and that will kind of bring everything together, because the varnish does sometimes kind of work with the watercolor pencil, and it kind of brings it to life a little bit. And I don't put too much varnish on it, but the varnish will kind of seal in this kind of touch of original canvas showing through around the bee. And I really kind of like it. And I think, why not? It's my bee painting. I can do what I want with it. And if I wanted to enhance the bee's body, I could maybe get my watercolor pencil and just lightly make some yellow around the bee's body. But you know what? I don't even know if I want to do that. I don't want to start over painting and putting too much on the canvas to see if I can get an effect. It's not really what I want to do. I've had to train myself to stop painting. Just let it be. You get it? Be. Okay. So this is the last video on bee painting that I'm doing, at least for now. And I hope that people like it. And maybe I'll do like an abstract fun bee painting. I was thinking of doing some blue colors, you know, maybe doing some more hard sketching kind of drawing, like a messy sketch, and then going in with the coffee, maybe toning the canvas with some coffee, and then doing like a sketch with black ink, and then going in and doing some hues of blue. So see, these are some of my bee sketches that I've done before. So, and some of them can be a little bit messy, and that's really fun too, kind of childlike, kind of messy, maybe a little bit more detailed. I had done like a honey pot and a crown, and this is watercolor paper. Actually, I did some stuff on the back too. I had drawn some different things. I did a quick picture of a girl with a bee on her head, and I asked somebody about a book about bees, a book of bees by Sue Hubble. And then I wrote a country year. I think somebody told me about that, but I've met Sue Hubble years ago. And there's stories about, I think she wrote a book of bees. I don't know that much. I wasn't really prepared to talk about her today, but it's coming up here. And I knew her when I was a little kid. So I believe she moved and started taking care of bees. Maybe I'll get her book and give it a read. So just drawing some really fun sketches. Maybe I'll do like a fun sketch of a girl with a bee on her head. I tried to make like 2 pom-pom ponytails. I've done actually mermaids with bees on their hands and stuff like that, in kind of aqua-y colors. So we'll just see where it takes us. I have a bunch of canvases. Maybe I'll do some sketching tomorrow. But just have fun. See what this brings you. And maybe if somebody uses the technique that I've been teaching on the YouTubes, you can paint something completely different, something that you would like. And I'd love to hear from anybody. You can go on my Jilly's Art Facebook. It's my business page. And let me know. Let me know what you think. And it's been quite an adventure. And love, Jilly.